Happy day after 4th of July. You'll actually be watching this on Saturday. Today's Friday, July 5th. Am I ahead? No, I'm not. Y'all, we are having a very humid, foggy morning. It is already 8 o'clock and the fog is still heavy enough. And if you ever wonder what the humidity level is, you can always tell by my hair. So it says right now on my weather station that it's 99% humidity. So let me just turn this around and show you the weather station, and I can leave it a link in the box below. Oh Lord, I'm terrible at this. Okay, so it is hooked up to Wi-Fi, and on the left are your outdoor sensors. So it's 68 degrees, 99% humidity, 67 degrees is the dew point. So it feels like it's misting outside even though it's not. And y'all excuse my hands, I might have been in the beats and didn't wear gloves, so they're kind of red. Gives you the barometric pressure, a future forecast, whether it's going to be clear or stormy. It's right in the middle because it doesn't know. Yesterday we had 0.27 inches of rain, and the day before we got 0.7, so we've had, 0.97, virtually an inch of rain in the last 2 days. It's 50% humidity and 75 degrees in here. So I really enjoy, oh, and the wind speed is 0 right now. I really enjoy, I think I should have been a meteorologist if I hadn't been a nurse, right? But I enjoy knowing, because a lot of times living in a small, ooh, sorry about my hand, y'all. I'm having a little bit of trouble adjusting this because I am sitting on one of my vintage chairs. The general news does not focus on the little village that I live in. So something may totally bypass me, and the Weather Channel or the news is saying, oh, you got an inch of rain. And I'm like, yeah, where? So it's really helped me be a little more judicious in my watering. And of course you can tell if your plants act like they need water, but I try to water deeply and I always have a really good yield. So I am wearing my chill shirt. I can leave a link for that in the description box below if you have interest. This thing is so comfortable. Ladies, I will tell you, you will need a racerback bra because it's cut in a little bit. It comes in like 6 colors. I'm wearing size large, my usual size. Guys, I don't like things skin tight because it shows my fat rolls, just saying. So I am so excited because, okay, I way overdid on tomatoes, but the food that's coming in from my garden this year, I really tried to plant a big variety and in smaller quantities, with the exception of tomatoes. But y'all, I can can tomatoes, I can freeze dry them, so many things I can do. So I'm finished with lettuce, I'm finished with radishes. I'm gonna say a mess of beets, so maybe 3 servings of beets. I love beets. Will I grow beets next year? Y'all, I won't. There's so much work. I don't eat beets that often, but I really do like them. But they stain everything they come in contact with. They stained my countertop. They're just difficult to work with when I can go and buy organic canned beets at Aldi. No more often than I eat them. I probably won't do it again, but I had some beautiful beets. Now I've also started harvesting. I've had 1 zucchini. Had that for breakfast, just a little one. I've had lots of cucumbers. I've harvested all my garlic, and I don't have too much. I've had some to share, and I have probably half to 3/4 of my Walla Wallas have been harvested, and we're going to be using one of those today. I'm looking at the garden so I can remember what else. Lots of beautiful flowers, guys. I'm going to have a gorgeous, gorgeous late July flower show with sunflowers and zinnias. See, I thought of it this time, right? My corn is tasseling. Again, I planted popcorn, so it makes little short, guys, please excuse my red fingers. I don't know what to tell you about it. Shoot, choked myself. Pardon me. They produce little short ears that are red, and let me get a drink, y'all. I'm sorry. sound like I got the sick, and I don't. You know, if you suffer from seasonal allergies, a lot of times on foggy days, you kind of want to avoid being outside a lot because it holds those allergens in the air. But I have chicken chores and garden chores and a lot to do, so I just have to go outside. Hence the frizzy hair, right? So the popcorn is tasseling. Now, 2 years ago, I had a beautiful spread of sweet corn. And like the day before it was ready, or 2 days before it was ready, it was annihilated by raccoons. I don't seem to have a lot of raccoons this year, but the birds. So I'm going to just pray they don't like popcorn. You know, it doesn't taste good. We'll see. We'll see. I've got 1 tomato almost ready to harvest. I have tons and tons of herbs. I'm looking so I'll remember. I've harvested all my broccoli, prepped it, and froze that. And then I harvested my first cabbage. Y'all, it was bigger than my head. It's about the size of a bowling ball, and I should have weighed it. But Mr. Steve has a lot. He has 4 adult children and spouses and girlfriends and boyfriends and grandkids and all that. So I took it to them because I knew that they were having a little 4th of July thing, and I figured they would want to make some coleslaw, and he was very glad to have it. So I have 2 more cabbages to harvest. And this morning I went out, and guys, looky what I have. Now, is that the prettiest beet you've ever... Beet? Well, it kind of looks like a beet. It's a turnip. So a lot of my turnips are like this size, not so big. But I have a small amount of turnips here. And if y'all remember, I had said I found a recipe for a turnip pie. I don't know where I ever came up with pie out of that. Probably just because I wanted pie. So I want to share a cookbook with you. And I've been very judicious in not buying as many cookbooks. But this one, I was up at my son's and he had this one. And as I started to look through it, I'm like, I absolutely need this, especially because a lot of what I'm growing, I'm consuming as it comes on. I will have a lot of green beans to can and tomato products. That's oh, and pumpkin. Yeah, I think that's it that I'll have to can. I'm not going to can as much this year because I didn't eat it all last year for sundry and various reasons. But this book, I left the little book jacket on as it's just a little wraparound thing, just as a bookmark. It's called 6 Seasons. So if you like to do succession planning in your garden, it goes early spring, early summer, early fall. And it has a lot of different recipes. So you can just go to whatever season it is and find a recipe. It's beautifully illustrated. So that gives you an example. So I thought, well, I know I took a picture of it because I wasn't sure if I was going to order the book. Where's the turnip pie picture in my, camera feed? It would be a salad, but salad sounds perfect because we're having a chill day, y'all. So this is turnip salad with yogurt. I am not going to use yogurt because I don't have it, but I have some sour cream that I want to use up. And the kind of yogurt that it calls for, whole milk yogurt, or you can use low fat, but it says don't use Greek. The only thing I have is honey vanilla Greek. I don't think that would be very good with turnips. So there's a lot of poppy seeds in this dish. It does say you could swap creme fraiche, which is kind of like a sour cream, for the yogurt. It has a whole bunch of mixed herbs, so we're going to do a little bit of harvesting. But the first thing we have to do is we have to prep all these turnips. So since these turnips they're really, I would call them early summer turnips, I am going to go ahead and peel them. So let me tip you down. Oh, y'all, I'm terrible at this. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right. So this is always in my description box because I've had a lot of questions about it. This is a Victorinox knife. These are some of the best knives, and I just ordered a protector because this doesn't go in a block. It just sets in a drawer for me. So I've washed these guys, but I will tell you, the root holds a lot of dirt. So how I'm going to prep them, I'm just going to show you one. Okay, so this needs to be cut off a little bit. Oh, this might be a bad turnip, guys. Wouldn't you know? Yeah, so this turnip needs to go to turnip heaven. Let's try a little one. I can always go pick more. Believe me, there are plenty more. Oh yeah, this is a beautiful one. So because we've had such horribly hot and dry weather, even though I've been watering, you're still going to have some effect. I've noticed some of my tomatoes coming on have a split that's healed already due to the heat. But isn't this pretty? And then I'm letting everything fall in here, but I'm going to compost it. I was talking to my, as I call them, my backdoor neighbor this morning when I went out to get my recycle bin, and they also have not seen the fox. And every time I've seen the fox, it comes from that direction. So I'm hoping that he found another place to live happily with a whole new fox family, and that he leaves us alone. The girls are not very happy about being cooped up, I can tell you that. So for this salad, you just want to, if you have a mandolin, use that. Guys, I always end up chopping my hand to pieces whenever I have a mandolin. So it just says 1 bunch. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to prep all these, and you're supposed to soak them in water. So I have a little bowl here. It's actually my rice rinsing bowl, but it'll work. Soak them for 15 to 20 minutes. So let me see how many more beets, why do I keep calling them beets? Turnips that I need to pick, if any, to make, a sizable salad. And then we'll come back and we'll put all the ingredients together and get it to chillin' for a good lunch dish. Stay tuned. So I thought I would just give you a quick peek, that's just my watering thing, at how much my garden has grown. These are sunflowers, tons of pumpkin blooms, zucchini. Of course, the garlic's gone. We're gonna go ahead and grab, ooh, my hand. We'll grab ourselves an onion. It actually calls for leeks, but that's okay. We can do an onion. And if you see here, my loofah is starting to climb the trellis. The pumpkins, these are the baby boos. Looky here, y'all. There's 3 right there. So, green beans, corntasselin, tons of flowers, beautiful flowers. So I'm very pleased with the garden, but it is way ahead of schedule. Pardon the background noise. So we also need some parsley and some mint. So I'm just going to harvest a little bit of that. The girls are throwing a fit. They want out to play, and I'm not comfortable letting them out unless I'm out with them. We have a pretty good size serving of our turnips that have been soaking. I am going to go ahead. It calls for 4 scallions. I kind of don't think I have the full amount of turnips that they're calling for. So I am just going to use some of the green from my Walla Walla after I wash it very well. Slice it very thinly, and then you're also supposed to soak the onion. So I'm going to slice it thinly. I'm going to put it in with the turnips. And then the girly girls are breaking my heart, so I'm going to go out and set. I'll get this video done, but I'm going to let them play for a little bit, even though it's humid. And I'm sweaty already, if you can't tell, y'all. Oh, this has been a hot summer, but that's okay. And that's part of being an animal owner is, taking good care of them. So I want to let the little babies out in the bigger coop too. They are no longer little babies, so maybe I'll get a little bit of footage for you. All right, guys, I'll see you in a few. Now, y'all don't judge my grass. I have a lovely spread of clover. It's really good for the bees and for pollination in the garden. And excuse the radio in the background. That is a fox deterrent. But I see 3 fluffy butts happily going to their favorite spot back there in the corner. And let me show you how big the little girls are getting. Oh, I threw some greens in for them. So, come here, babies. They're like, yeah, we're scared of you. Come on, honey. Oh, they're so weird. Okay, that is Loretta Hen. And then here's Winona, the little fluffy one. And then the one with the orange neck is Reba. So I am beginning to wonder if the all black one is in a black Australorp rather than a copper black Moran, but I don't care. Y'all, I just love chickens. Look at little Winona. Her hair, you know, I think she's my favorite of the babies because I have hair just like her. So you want to show people your crazy hair? Huh? Show them your crazy hair. Yeah, she got crazy hair out there. I will let them out in this coop, but not in the big coop. And I see the girls are making their way back to the wood chip pile, which they are super naughty. They don't know any better, y'all. And if you ever wonder what's on my fence, it's Virginia creeper. It is not poison ivy. Kind of looks like it, but it isn't. Okay, ladies, you gotta go the other way. There's raspberries. Go on, let's go back the other way. Go on, Miss Jolene. Go on, Miss Jolene. She's doing so good. You would never know she was ever hurt like that. Come on, girlies. Let's go on. She's like, can you just pick me up, please? And as you see, my pumpkins are going crazy. Yeah, get back in there. There's some good worms back in there. All right, guys. I'm gonna let them play a while. Try not to stress out about the fox. I haven't seen any pumpkins starting here. I'm super excited about the little baby boos, though. Don't see any yet. And you know, y'all, this is a volunteer, so I may not get anything, but it's clear over almost to the raspberries, so girls love to come and dig in this dirt pile that's for the garden, the compost pile. I guess there's a lot of good junk in there. All right, guys, I'll see you in short. Are you ready to make our turnip salad? So we're to put the turnips and the onion into your bowl. And these have been soaked, washed 14 times and well drained. Then it says to squeeze half of a lemon. Well, y'all, I don't have any lemon. So I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of lemon in there to give it some brightness. The next thing is adding chili flakes, and it calls for half a teaspoon. And guys, this ended up being a little bit more than what I thought it looked like in the bowl. So I'm gonna do the full dressing recipe. So I am using gochugaru, which are Korean chili flakes. Adds a nice heat, but it won't totally blow you up if you're not a fan of heat. You could certainly omit it or use cayenne if you prefer. Next is half a teaspoon of salt. So I am just going to use my Redmond real salt, and obviously I'm eyeballing, y'all. Next, we need some black pepper. Sorry, y'all, forgot to pick that up. This sounds just really, really refreshing and delicious, and I bet it will be better chilled than unchilled. So I'm just going to give it a good dousing of some fresh black pepper. So let's go ahead and toss it. And then the next thing it calls for is the yogurt or sour cream. And it calls for half of a cup. And y'all, when it comes to dressings, I'm not going to measure. I'm going to eyeball it. So that's about a quarter. And another quarter. Let's see how that looks. Since it's kind of vague on, you know, it just says a bunch of turnips. Oh yeah, that looks just about right. So here's what we have so far. Looks delish. All right, then you are supposed to add the herbs, a quarter cup of olive oil. So I'm going to go a little scant on the olive oil. I'm going to do maybe an eighth. I don't want it too oily. And then it says to add the herbs. Now it calls for a cup of herbs. I've already diced my fresh picked. We picked the parsley, we picked the mint, and I have some freeze-dried chives. That's what it calls for. Flat leaf parsley. Yeah. So they will rehydrate nicely. Oh yeah. That was probably a scant quarter cup. And then here is my finely diced mint. If you don't like mint in things, I actually went really light on the mint and really heavy on the parsley. I find mint can be overpowering, and I don't want my salad to taste like chewing gum. Oh, y'all, this is pretty. That's why my cookbooks never look nice. And then the last addition is a quarter cup of poppy seeds. So here's the funny thing, y'all. I have 1,000, literally, not 1,000, but I have a lot of herbs, you know. Pardon me, did I have poppy seeds? No, I did not. So I'm gonna go ahead, I borrowed some from the neighbor and send Mr. Miles home with cabbage. So, oh yeah, that looks good. Pardon me, y'all. Girls had a great time playing outside. Pardon me, good grief. All right, there we have it. So let me clean up this mess, plate this really pretty, and I will give you my honest opinion. We'll do a taste test. Are you all ready for a taste test of our chill turnip and herb salad? It looks really, really good. So I do have the salt shaker here because I'm not sure I put enough salt in it, but let's taste. Could use a little salt to my taste. You know, this tastes like a really delicious and different coleslaw. Turnips definitely have that cabbage flavor to them. Highly recommend. Even though it was a little bit of work to get it ready, but I enjoy the fruits of my labor. So all of the seed starting and up potting and direct seed sowing, which the turnips are direct sown in the spring, but watering, weeding, it's all worth it because you can't buy something like this, in my opinion, in the store. All organically grown, quite delicious. So before you leave here, do me a big favor, go ahead and smash that like button. Drop me a comment below. Do you like turnips? And does this sound like a salad you or your family might enjoy? All right, guys, I will see you next week. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. But until then, be healthy, be well, be blessed, and take care.